Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for your second video of the day. If you didn't see this morning's upload, Eunice and I were sat here, we were sat in the studio and we were talking a little bit about both Arsenal and Barcelona games coming up this week for Chelsea, because to be fair, I think this is a massive week. It could be a divisive week for what Chelsea can be for the rest of this season. Is huge. Barcelona tomorrow night in the Champions League. You might be thinking, Benson, isn't this supposed to be the preview? Well, I've decided that we're going to do the match preview for Barcelona on the morning of the game. I'm going to do the preview tomorrow around 7:30 in the morning. You remember back to the summer when you would turn on your flipping phone or your laptop or your TV in the morning and you had that early morning GBFC upload? We're going to bring it back for tomorrow on match day, build up the hype throughout the day, and then, of course, the stream will be on Shootout tomorrow. In this video, we are going to go through a little update from Simon Phillips. We're also going to go through a big update today from Chelsea Football Club regarding a new sponsorship. Now, you might be thinking, hang on a sec, Benson, didn't you say about a week ago that Oracle were going to be the new front of shirt sponsor? Well, it turns out that might have been a little bit premature. My thought process on this was that if Oracle were going to be front of shirt sponsor and a deal was either done or very close, wouldn't you want to be getting all of those things I dotted and T's crossed and all of that before one of the biggest weeks of the season? Barcelona at Stamford Bridge, Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, 2 full houses, full megastore with brand new shirts and all of that stuff. Well, turns out that isn't the case. And as much as what I'm about to say isn't necessarily a front of shirt sponsor, surely at this point in time, right, we've got to be looking for a company that might have the money to do a front of shirt. Chelsea FC, and we got a handshake here with Coca-Cola, our new official soft drink supplier. 2 icons, 1 pride. All right, well, that's hashtag CFC, hashtag Coca-Cola. And then this is also a little bit of information. As part of the agreement, Coke Zero will lead a lineup of Coca-Cola's iconic beverages served at Stamford Bridge and Kings Meadow, including Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, Fanta, Sprite and more. These drinks will be available to supporters on match days across general concourses throughout hospitality suites and at club events. Now, for me, this all just seems a little bit odd, right? This whole front of shirt sponsorship thing, not having it last season, having Damak for 5 matches at the end of the season? Surely, at some point or another, whatever valuation we have on this idea of a long-term deal for the front of shirt sponsorship, surely, at some point, we're going to have to just be like, listen, we need the revenue. It's not like we can go and all of a sudden click our fingers and get an extra 25,000 seats at Stamford Bridge. We're going to be missing out on that revenue for years. Maybe, at this rate, we're never going to know. New stadium, develop Stamford Bridge. There are so many different things that Chelsea should be doing on a financial level right now. I've always been pretty clear regarding my thoughts on the new stadium. I find it incredibly difficult to ever entertain anything other than playing at Stamford Bridge, which obviously would lead to issues, and there are issues with developing Stamford Bridge further, making it bigger. But this front of shirt sponsorship thing, right? Surely this must be an easier conversation. Now, obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't know the ins and outs of how these conversations go, but we heard about Oracle. That still isn't anywhere close to being done. We're getting Coca-Cola as a soft drink partner here at Chelsea. But at this point in time, like, what is actually happening with this front of shirt sponsorship? Because this can't be some kind of magic master plan. We are fundamentally just missing out on big revenue with lots of money. And whether or not we're asking for too much, but still saying no to what would be a lot, that seems to be what's happening right now. But Coca-Cola coming in, like, surely this would make an absolute corker of a front of shirt sponsor as well. I know that we're talking very different kinds of deals here, and I'm purely just saying this to more ask the question about this front of shirt sponsorship thing. This would have been a great time. Barcelona at the Bridge, Arsenal at the Bridge, but we still don't have it. Chelsea, Arsenal and Barcelona are all interested in signing Nottingham Forest defender Murillo. This comes from caught offside. Of course, it was about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Chelsea were also interested then in Murillo, who scored for Nottingham Forest at the weekend at Liverpool. All of a sudden, ever since Sean Dyche has come back to Nottingham Forest, I'm looking at some of their players again and I'm like, certainly you didn't just become an awful Premier League footballer overnight. Ange Postecoglou arrived at Nottingham Forest, takes them from being the semi-defensive side under Nuno to anging everything up, basically, is what's happened. Dyche has come back in and it's straight back to type for Forest. Murillo looks like an absolute world beater again. He was fantastic against Liverpool at the weekend. And look, obviously when it comes to the centre-back position, lots of people have talked about Mark Guehi. He's at Crystal Palace. We know he's not signing a new deal. I'm sure, especially now that Liverpool are in the abyss, 6 Premier League defeats in their last 7 Premier League games. That is awful. Surely at this point, that is going to be nailed on. They'd have done all of the groundwork with Guehi last summer. And then come January, maybe they bring him in early. Palace get some money before he actually leaves on a free next summer. Or if that's the case, then he might just go for free to Liverpool next summer. So, with Levi Colwill coming back from that injury, I don't expect us to see him this season. Some people are saying maybe we will. But with an injury like that, we know that Maresca will not be rushing him back into the side. So maybe there is still the need for a left-sided centre-back next season. At the moment, there's a lot of promise. Wesley Fofana has been good again recently. Badia Shiel has looked very good as well. Josh Atchampong, I think we all love him. Apparently Maresca does too. Just never picks the bloke, never plays the bloke. But that's not the conversation for today. We'll save that for another day. But Murillo from Forest, he's an absolute big unit. He's a big lad, good defender. And the rumours back to Chelsea are coming up again. There's a lot of comments that have been made in the build-up to this game. And one of the big question marks, right, has been about Cole Palmer. Now, Cole Palmer was obviously out for the game against Burnley. There's a lot of us that thought he might have actually been back and available for the Burnley game. Then it was like, well, why rush him back for Burnley if he's had a groin problem and only played 190 minutes this season? Barcelona and Arsenal coming up. We'll save him for that one, right? So then he goes and breaks his toe. Okay? His little toe, which is obviously the smallest of the lot. So it's probably the quickest and easiest to repair. And he's back on the grass playing football. Now, all of this kind of just got me thinking this afternoon, like, are we going to just randomly say, ta-da, Barcelona, welcome to Stamford Bridge? We just so happen to have one of the best players in the world back and available. And based off of all of the corruption that we've suffered at your hands over the years, we thought we would just summon the mighty Cole Palmer upon you on the day of the match. Turns out that's not going to be the case. Enzo Maresca has spoken about Cole Palmer, and he isn't going to be ready for this game, but potentially he could be ready for the game to face Arsenal. Now, there's also been a boot that has been made to enable Cole to actually get out there on the grass. This is what Maresca said there. Yes, we don't know when, but for sure, he will be back soon. He's already on the pitch, touching the ball, and the feeling is good. Now, I don't know about you lot, but this would be the fastest toe repair recovery I've ever seen. If he actually broke his toe, and within, 10 days, it ain't broken anymore? This is absolute sorcery, if you ask me. But surely, there's no chance that he's going to be back tomorrow. Back for Arsenal game. Focus on Barca now. After that, we will start to think about Arsenal. Now, obviously, Enzo Maresca was asked a lot during his press conference today on Esteval. Esteval is going to be an important player for this club in the future, no doubt. The most important thing is he has to enjoy football, be happy, and not think about being better than other players. He's going to be a top player. We talk about this in almost every video right now. I think attitude is not going to be the problem when it comes to Esteval Willian. Tomorrow, in my eyes, if Cole Palmer is out injured, obviously it's Chelsea-Barcelona. This is a rivalry where you don't even need the torch paper to be lit for it to start taking off, right? This is the biggest game in European football for Chelsea. The history against Barcelona, particularly at Stamford Bridge, 2009, Eunice and I were talking about it in today's earlier video. Check that out. That still haunts me to this day. There's probably not a moment in my footballing life where I've been as upset and angry as I was that night. So beating Barcelona is always going to hold a precious place in the hearts of Chelsea fans. But for Lamine Yamal, I look at him and I'm like, no doubt, what a talent, what an incredible footballer. But with him, he's obviously got issues himself with injuries right now, with his development and maturity. But as well as that, the attitude off the field. With Esteval, I don't think we're going to need to have the similar conversations with him. He looks like a selfless player. At the moment, he's already getting so much extra time in Brazil. He's taking penalties when you've got Bruno on the pitch, Vinny on the pitch, Rodrigo on the pitch. He's already taken the pens. Everybody knows that he's absolutely the real deal. Now, Marc Cucurella was speaking about the comparison between Esteval and Lamine Yamal, and he said this: I think both of them are very special players. They have a lot of talent, always want the ball, do 1v1s. They are players that can decide the games. The difference now is that Lamine has played in Europe for a few seasons, and if Esteval keeps it up, I think he can arrive at Lamine's level. They enjoy, love the ball, and express themselves. It's a difficult comparison because Lamine Yamal was second in the Ballon d'Or, and Esteval has hardly played more than flipping 2 starts in the Premier League for Chelsea. So to compare the two right now is crazy, but it just shows the levels, not necessarily just expectation, but excitement. I think that is what this conversation is about. It's about Lamine Yamal is clearly a player that gets you off your seat, makes you think, what is he going to do next? Esteval is that guy for Chelsea now. So, moving forward, Enzo Maresca was also asked about Barcelona. Now, I don't know why, and I don't know how, when Chelsea are about to play Barcelona, there's any value in stirring the pot regarding Maresca managing Barcelona. What a daft question. Maresca, when asked about managing Barca one day, I'm happy to be in this huge club, one of the best clubs in the world. Well, thank you, Enzo Maresca. And I mean this with no sarcasm, by the way, because I want my Chelsea manager to be coming out and reminding the media that we are one of the biggest clubs in the world. I'll also have you know that Sky Sports News have been putting up images with total, complete and utter sorcery to discredit Chelsea Football Club right now. The big three, apparently, is now Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. How are Arsenal in the big three for a start? They haven't won anything for a very long time, apart from the odd FA Cup and the Community Shield. Liverpool are 11th in the Premier League. And we have got to deal with the big three being Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. Let me remind you, Chelsea are second right now in the Premier League table, the closest to this infallible Arsenal team that have won absolutely nothing as of right now. So let's keep reminding everybody of that. Let's keep the narrative strong about just how great and big we are. We beat the European champions to become the champions of the world. So whilst everybody is continuing to discredit, belittle, and not give Chelsea the airtime and the love and adoration that we probably deserve, I'll keep reminding you here on GBFC. Absolutely no worries whatsoever on that one. Make sure you are subscribed to GBFC. This is a huge week coming up for Chelsea. It's going to be a big week on the channel as well. Might have something a little bit mental up my sleeve for the weekend. Might just well be going back to London for the Arsenal game. Who knows? We are doing that, just to let you know here at the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching this one. Stay tuned. First thing tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. UK time. Your Chelsea-Barcelona GBFC preview will be here. Come on, you Blues.